Hello everybody, thank you for tuning in to another one of my videos. My name is Cliff and my channel is here to stand up for the return of Jesus Christ. If you've watched any of my clips, you'll understand that the Holy Spirit came to me nearly 2 years ago to teach me all walks or all facets of our lives, and the people that control our lives and how they control us. It's a big place and it is meant to be confusing, but the Lord through the Holy Spirit taught me all or nearly all things about how everything works, even us as human beings, how we think, why we think we, and who's interfering with our thoughts. Okay, I'm going to show you some clips, some movie clips, and how they are controlling us, meaning the people who control the world, basically. They'll show you a little bit of what's going on through movies and television, music, every walk of our lives. They have their hidden agenda in the meaning of what you're watching or listening to. It's to hypnotize you. Okay, here we go.
In Texas. And there are 10 mobile mass decontamination units established right across the capital. The success of the recent drill is a clear demonstration of how capable London's emergency services are in dealing with incidents of major contamination.
Who's been telling us this?
Of course, we can't afford to be complacent. But London is now better prepared than it has ever been. Thank you very much.
Nice to meet you, Minister. Very interesting speech. Minister, were you at the same drill I was?
Sorry, you are...
I'm sorry, I'm Murray Corrigan, Watch Commander, London Fire Service. That drill was a farce, wasn't it? Have you ever worn a GT suit? You can't work in them. They're unwieldy. You boil. What you're asking us to do with this equipment is totally unreal.
We've had a lot of problems with our kit. Clive Phelps, London Ambulance Service. Half our suits were defective. We had to send them back. When we put the decon showers on, the heads blew off.
I appreciate your concerns. That's why we're doing drills.
Well, that wasn't a drill. It was a PR
137
stunt.
of the ambulance.
Controlled conditions, police cadets as your casualties.
We're constantly reviewing our plans.
Well, exactly. They're your plans. I have never been consulted.
Murray.
I have never been invited to any strategy meetings. I haven't even seen your new major incident procedures.
I'm sure you'll appreciate it. We have to limit access to these plans in the interests of national security.
What a great excuse for incompetence.
Somebody got killed. A father, a husband with a family.
You think I didn't think about that when so many fathers with families were being killed? And still
You
are.
shouldn't have gone, Mimi. You should have said no. We were done.
No, you were done. I never was. But you couldn't accept that.
Mimi.
You fooled yourself into thinking I was someone else. And you're still doing it.
I'm not the one fooling myself. It was over.
It wasn't over. It's still not over. Every single thing we said then is true today. And every single day, it's getting worse.
That's not the point.
Oh, it's exactly the point, Nick. I won't give myself up to a system I despise. I won't give up my freedom and accept their version of what life is
Mimi,
supposed to be.
how free are you, really?
Well, I'm not in jail. I don't expect you to understand. They have you.
Oh, like hell.
A system that protects the super rich and the super rich and over everyone else and the planet to boot.
Mimi, would you just stop?
Everyone has given up and given in. They're living at the expense of what they once believed. It's so sad. They have you.
Oh, like hell.
A system that protects the super rich and the super rich and over everyone else and the planet to boot.
Mimi, would you just stop?
Everyone has given up and given in. They're living at the expense of what they once believed. It's so sad. You understood this. I'm sorry you've forgotten.
I wish I had forgotten. Because my problem is I can't stop remembering. So if you build a wall so high, more power to you. You're stronger than I
I
am.
will turn myself in. The day the politicians and corporations turn themselves in for all they've done, that's the day I'll hand myself in. Scout's fucking
Stop
honor.
hiding behind your
Oh,
fucking
don't turn it on
revolutionary
me.
rant. You know what I see? I see the same person. I see it, kid. I see it in your eyes. You can hide from everyone else in the world and be somebody else, but not with me. What are your memories, me? The ones you can't run away from. Hey. We had a responsibility beyond the cause. We had a baby. We were so consumed by our principles that we abandoned our most fundamental duty.
We were doing our duty, Nick. We made a plan that if anything ever went wrong,
Never should have carried out that plan.
exactly what we had to do. We both
We
agreed.
were wrong.
We had no choice.
And we should have known it. We were wrong. We both accepted it. And we both had to live with it.
There you go. Another couple of clips from two different movies. I showed them in my previous video. These videos or these movies are telling you exactly what is going on in the world for real. And it's not like pretend. Everybody thinks somebody's just telling a story. You know what? The best story that hits the heart, and from my understanding or my guesswork here, is the truth. Before you were born, your consciousness, I don't even know how to say it anymore. Anyways, you knew the truth before you came here. And you gambled basically against the lies that you knew were in the world. If you came from the Father told you to be careful. So here's another video or a movie. It's from V for Vendetta. I love this movie. I thought it was going to be something stupid, but this movie was one of my favorites of all time. And listen to this clip, because it's got so much truth in it, and it's basically where everybody's at. Everybody's heart is stuck in this deception of lies. Here we go.
For God's sake, don't touch it.
Dad, what's wrong with the telly?
Good evening, London. Allow me first to apologize for this.
The emergency channel!
I do, like many of you, appreciate the comforts of everyday routine, the security of the familiar, the tranquility of repetition.
Bloody hell.
I enjoy them as much as any bloke. But in the spirit of commemoration, whereby those important events of the past, usually associated with someone's death or the end of some awful bloody struggle, are celebrated with a nice holiday, I thought we could mark this November the 5th, a day that is sadly no longer remembered, by taking some time out of our daily lives to sit down and have a little chat. There are, of course, those who do not want us to speak.
Let me
I suspect even now orders are being shouted into telephones, and men with guns will soon be on their way.
It's Chancellor Sutler.
Damn it!
Why? Because while the truncheon may be used in lieu of conversation, words will always retain their power. Words offer the means to meaning, and for those who will listen, the enunciation of truth. And the truth is, there is something terribly wrong with this country, isn't there?
You designed it, sir. You wanted it foolproof. You told me every television in London.
Cruelty and injustice, intolerance and oppression. And where once you had the freedom to object, to think and speak as you saw fit, you now have censors and systems of surveillance coercing your conformity and soliciting your submission.
We need cameras.
How did this happen? Who's to blame? Well, certainly there are those who are more responsible than others, and they will be held accountable. But again, truth be told, if you're looking for the guilty, you need only look into a mirror. I know why you did it. I know you were afraid. Who wouldn't be? War, terror, disease. There were a myriad of problems which conspired to corrupt your reason and rob you of your common sense. Fear got the best of you, and in your panic you turned to the now High Chancellor Adam Sutler. He promised you order, he promised you peace, and all he demanded in return was your silent, obedient consent.
Inspector, you're almost through.
Last night, I sought to end that silence. Last night, I destroyed the Old Bailey to remind this country of what it has forgotten. More than 400 years ago, a great citizen wished to embed the 5th of November forever in our memory. His hope was to remind the world that fairness, justice, and freedom are more than words. They are perspectives. So if you've seen nothing, if the crimes of this government remain unknown to you, then I would suggest that you allow the 5th of November to pass unmarked. But if you see what I see, if you feel as I feel, and if you would seek as I seek, then I ask you to stand beside me 1 year from tonight, outside the gates of Parliament, and together we shall give them a 5th of November that shall never, ever be forgotten.
Okay, for those of you that haven't put it together yet, you're watching any of my clips, you are, or you should be, aware of the movement and noted by Anonymous. And this is where the celebration of Occupy date, November the 5th, comes in. The movement basically got its start or generated from this date or this movie, so to speak. If you notice the Guy Fawkes mask as well, a lot of these people making these videos for Anonymous recognize that they have the Guy Fawkes mask, and a lot of people doing or walking about with in the movement against the governments and the tyranny of government control, wearing the Guy Fawkes mask as well. It's a great movie if you just want some entertainment, get a little bit of understanding of the argument against government. You can watch that movie. Okay, now on to my next clip.
Discharge was granted September 11th.
Well, that was easy.
Easier than you think.
Real problem is this, James. 2 decades, there will be 7 billion human beings on this planet. Most of them brown, yellow, or black. All of them hungry. All of them determined to love. They'll swarm out of their breeding grounds into Europe and North America. Hence Vietnam. An all-out effort there will give us control of South Asia for decades to come. And with proper planning, we can reduce the population to 550 million by the end of the century. I know. I've seen the data.
We sound rather like gods reading the Doomsday Book, don't we?
Well, someone has to do it. Not only will the nations affected be better off, but the techniques developed there can be used to reduce our own excess population. Blacks, Puerto Ricans, Mexican Americans, poverty-prone whites, and so forth.
All I can say to this movie clip is wow. In 1973,